Hi, my name is Matt, and because of this, I decided that I wanted to make something. So, to start with what I'm making, I get out some paper clips, and I make an armature about the same scale as the Steve amiibo, because I thought that was good. I make one side of the armature, and then I copy that over, and I connect them together with some aluminum foil. Then, once the two are connected, I start building up the thing with the color of clay. Now, since I'm making the robot costume, I started by putting red clay on the body and black clay on the limbs. So, I also posed it. So, because the robot has thicker arms and legs with ridges in them, I made the legs thicker and added the things to them, the little circles. So I made both legs, then I made both arms, and after that, I baked it to keep it in place. Well, after that, I added the shoes, and then I baked it. Well, actually, no, I also added the hands. I did a lot before I baked it. I added the hands, which are claws, and in the hands, I felt it was best and most chaotic if I put a grenade. This is not a real grenade. It is. Well, so now that that's done, I baked it, and then I added a rectangle of red clay over the body and added a bunch of different buttons in the same color as the original sprite. So, once I got all of them on there, I smushed them up with a ball stylus, and then I gave my robot costumed man a neck. And then I added the head. Well, the mask? Mask is more appropriate. After I put the mask on, I added a disc to the top, and then a cylinder with two ridges on the side of it, and then I made eyes. But in order to make it look more chaotic, the eyes are not the same size. So, after I'm done with that, I wanted to make some ghosts. I decided to do some tests during this, so I have glow-in-the-dark clay, clear clay, and I've decided to mix the two. I liked this one, which is the glow-in-the-dark clay, the best. The other two turned out fine, but I like the way that this turned out the best, and it's really the best one to use, in my opinion, if you are trying to make a ghost. So you make a cylinder, thin out the two edges and make them all squiggly, and then you make a cylinder, cut it in half, and turn it into the arms. The arms get attached and smoothed in on the cylinders, and then you add some texture by smashing some stuff into it. Now, for the eyes and the mouth, I decided to carve into it with a tool of mine, and then add some black clay on the inside of it. So, I made indents and filled all of the indents with black clay. So, now that that is done, I made one out of translucent clay, and then one out of the combination of the two. This one, I could have just made with glow-in-the-dark clay. So, once that's done, you just bake all of them. Now that I have the knowledge that I have now, if I were to do this project again, I would most likely just make 3 glow-in-the-dark ghosts. So, now I am making some Hoppin' Jacks, which is a pumpkin enemy, which from what I know used to be Halloween based, but then it could spawn in a graveyard. So you make some spheres, you add ridges to make it look like a pumpkin, then you add the green stem on the top as a cylinder, and then, once that's done, you have 2 pumpkins that you can carve into. I then, similar to the ghost, carved the face into the pumpkin itself, and I filled black clay in where the indents were left. So I put black in the 2 eyes and into the mouth. And then I copied this over into the other one. So with that, it's finished and time to make a base. I got some bluish green, flattened it, and then out of brown clay, I put something under it to give it some structure and make it look a little bit like a hill. So, to start, since I can't support the robot just using the raw clay, I decided to leave an indent so that I could glue it on there later. Then, I thought I was going to do the same with the ghosts, but I decided that I could leave them in, and since the Hoppin' Jacks are still unbaked clay, they can be pushed in and stuck on there, no problem. So, now that I have the Hoppin' Jacks and the ghosts all stuck on there, but it's baked, but one of the Hoppin' Jacks didn't have enough surface area, so that's also going to get glued on. So, once the robot and everything's glued on, it's finished. This was a nice project to make. It kind of balanced on complexity and simplicity. It was fun to make. And if you want me to make something else, put it in the comments. I'll probably make it. I don't have a life. So, that's that. The project's finished. And I'm probably I have already submitted this to the forums. Well, not the forums, the form. Singular, because it's a Google form. Bye. Wait.